Hi Mel, how are you? Good, good, nice to see you.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi Mo.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah. I've come today because I've got this wedding I've got to go to, and so I thought I needed a little bit, just a trim or something. I was recently going through some old diaries. I looked at the date my father died. On the next day after my father died, I was due to go to the BBC and meet Michael Mills, who was producing and directing a show, and I was due to go and meet him for an audition. And of course, because my father died, I never went to see him. And then subsequently, in 1970, I was doing an episode about Pompeii. At the end of the filming, I was talking to Max Adrian, and this little man bounded over and spoke to Max. And when he'd gone, I said to Max, "Who was that man?" And he said, "Oh, that's Michael Mills. He's due to retire soon, head of comedy." I said, "Oh," and thought no more about it. And then Max said, "Well, you must come up and we must all have a drink in the bar." I got up to the 4th floor and I was wandering around, didn't know where I was, and suddenly this little man appeared again. And he said, "Oh, you look lost." I said, "Oh, I'm trying to find the bar." And he said, "Oh, well, come with me then." And that was Michael. And he took me into the bar and we had drinks, and the rest of the cast as well. And then about a week or so later, he phoned me up and asked me out to lunch. He was much older than me, and so people said he was a father figure. I think when I was younger, I was incredibly neurotic, and I suppose because my father had died when I was quite young, maybe I was looking for a father figure, I don't know, but he was very kind, and he was very patient, and with all my neurosis, and we eventually married 4 years to the day after meeting. Having recently found this diary, I can't help thinking whether history might have been different had I have met him previously for the job interview, which I couldn't go to because of my father's death. Life is very strange. I just want a tiny bit more off the end. I've got this very special wedding to go to this weekend. I think Michael wanted to marry me way before I thought of marrying him. I decided to marry him, and we went on to have 2 wonderful children. I got married at Marylebone Registry Office, and I wore a blue velvet suit, a long skirt and a jacket. And although it was a registry office, it was a very nice occasion. And I always remember coming out and Derek Nimmo throwing confetti all over me, which made me laugh. And then on the steps there were all the press photographers, because of course the 70s was my time and I did a great deal of work in the 70s. But the wedding dress was worn by my mother for her wedding to my father. I'm pleased to say that I was able to wear it in 1974, and it looks sensational, and it was very special to have been able to wear her dress. This is the wedding dress my mother wore in 1943. Isn't it fantastic? I wore it in 1974. I can't believe I got into it. It's got these little buttons at the back, so pretty but takes so long to do up. I really hope that one day my daughter might wear it. Married life with Michael was rather different. He was a bit of an eccentric, but he was marvellous in many, many ways. Every night I would come home and he'd gone to bed because he was filming or doing something himself, and he would have left a full meal for me, and it was really very warming to come back to feel so loved. When Michael died, life was really difficult. The children were still young, and it was hard. In fact, it's taken years to sort of get back. I found myself doing jobs I wouldn't have expected to do because I wanted the children to finish their education as they'd started it and everything, and so it wasn't easy. You know, his death was unexpected and it wasn't easy. I've never really thought about remarrying, although when we were married, because he was so much older, he always used to say, "Oh, well, when you have your second husband, this and this." But actually, I quite like my freedom and, you know, doing what I want to do when I want to do it, which is incredibly selfish. But, so I can't see myself marrying again. I think it's nice to have a partner or someone special in one's life, and I do have a wonderful circle of friends, so I'm very happy.